Hey guys, welcome back to Capsu Gaming. Capsu here, and today we'll be continuing our series called Wapping with Capsu. It's a series for those who love to maple or game but have nothing to watch and listen to. Join me as we wap together and listen to me ramble like a madman. We may or may not have Bucky and Ray in the background, and they may or may not join on my madness. We will cover 3 topics today. Each are randomly selected. If you have a topic you want us to talk about, please let us know in the comments down below. Now, let's jump right into it. First, we need to check our presets. So I'm going to select and switch over to my mobbing presets, which will cover my inner abilities, my hyperstats, my equipment, and my legion. But I'll also need to make sure that my familiars are correct. So I need to switch over to my farming familiar. Have that summoned. Then we will need to buff ourselves. So I'm gonna pop off all my buffs. Here we go. Very good. And then I'm also gonna pop gold, red, and green Monster Park potions. And also, we can't forget the small wealth acquisition potion. So this will be a 30-minute wapping session. So we'll click that. And now, pick your favorite map to wap. So, this is my favorite map to wap. So let's get in there. And let's start our rotation. So, first topic for today we have is overcoming fear of failure. Oh, okay, so that's the topic, overcoming fear of failure, guys. I see. Let me think about that for a second. Well, I understand that, when we are young, it's often that we are taught pretty early on that success is what really matters. At least when it comes into the academic realms. When you're at home with your mom and dad, and say you fail to simply say put a spoon in your mouth, or you get food all over the table, they're all gonna laugh and giggle and be like, you're so silly. But suddenly when you're at school, maybe initially it's not so bad, but over time, say you don't do your homework or you don't do well in your test, as a kid, you start to, you're not explicitly told by your teachers or your parents that you have to be, a high achiever, someone that is successful. But subconsciously, you do see the kids that excel, say in a assignment or a show and tell, praises and rewards, like a sticker. And then you're like, wait a minute. Suddenly, it seems like you're subconsciously being shown that, if you are successful and if you succeed, you are loved and praised and given rewards. And when we're young, that can be a driving force for us to really seek and sometimes actually get a bit addicted to it. Because say, like, for example, like you have a sibling, and you're always constantly getting compared to, like, oh, look how well achieving your older siblings are. It does make you feel like you want to beat them. And when you get that kind of reward and recognition, you're so focused that you just want to keep on achieving. You want to reach that goals all the time. All the time. And then it's easy. It's easy to get pretty far along in with most things if you are a pretty bright person and you got pretty far, or if you're just struggling to really understand. Everyone experience the fear of failure, because if you're already, and I hate to judge, but hypothetically say that you are in your mind failing, right? You don't I wouldn't imagine or think that to say that you would necessarily have given up. I don't believe people truly ever give up. They are always fighting. But again, when you are trying to have that burning spirit, the will to achieve and not fail, sometimes you get into a cycle of self-fulfilling prophecy, because as much as you're failing, you want to change that. So you obviously want to, say for example, academically you're studying and you're not doing well. I do not believe anyone out there who's failing in school are in that position because they want to be in that position. But sometimes you are in that position, and most people will think oh, if you're failing, then just don't fail. But it's not as simple as that, right? You can't just say don't fail, especially if you're already struggling. Because there is a self-fulfilling prophecy, like an Ouroboros. You're eating yourself. The more you feel down, the more it is used to hold you back. You hear the saying that when you become so afraid of something that fear end up controlling you, it's a bit like that. The fear of failure. When you're so afraid to fail, even though you're already failing, and you probably think you have nothing to lose, you can just go all out, right? No, that fear is deeply rooted inside of us, especially when we were young and when we were little. We were shown what it's like. For those who do well, it gets rewarded, and those who don't do well, those who gets recognition and praises, and those that are shunned for not doing their work or getting it right. So how do you overcome this? How do you get over the fear of failure? Well, that was a pretty tough thing that I said, to get over it. I don't think it's as simple as this, you waking up one day and it's done. It's over. It's something that you need to work bit by bit every day. And like I said earlier, I don't believe anyone out there voluntarily wants to fail. You know how hard it is to actually want to fail? Sometimes you say you play a game like League of Legends, yeah? And you play for a couple of years and you really are okay at it, but you're having a hard time to actually win some games, right? Sometimes you try to purposely throw a game. Some people definitely try to throw games, and I do believe that it actually is kind of hard, especially if you want to play to the end. You end up at some point realizing that, hey, suddenly I'm actually trying, and I'm actually trying to win. And that's the thing that you have to take notice, right? Is that fighting spirit. That although there are moments where we want to give up, there are moments like you're playing League of Legends, you're in a losing game, your team are down by so much, towers, golds, and objectives, but yet something inside of you still wants to succeed. Like you don't want to just give up just yet. That's the key to overcoming the fear of failure, and that is don't believe that if you fail, that's the end for you. It is not the end, because as long as you give it your all, give it all you can, do your best, put the efforts you can, everything you could, your whole heart into it. My friend, I'll tell you, your efforts can never be fruitless. There will always be meaning behind your attempt. There will always be respect and honor for those who continue to the very end and not give up. The game's not over until it's over, guys. And that's the key, right? Is that we fear that when we fail, we'll be shunned. That it's a sign of weakness. It's a sign of we're not good enough. But failure is the fruit of success. We fail in order to learn and get better. It can never, ever be fruitless, guys. Failure, embarrassment, is the ticket to become a master. It's a small price of entry. You'll have to fail. You have to tumble. But the good thing is you don't give up. As a kid, you try to learn and walk. And you'll tumble. And you'll fall over. But guess what? You'll get back up. And you'll try again. And that's the key, guys. As long as you know that your effort can never be a waste. Your attempts, your hard work, although you may want to see results immediately, everything takes time. And like all things, that includes overcoming the fear of failure. As long as you truly believe in yourself, and don't run away as much as you wish you want to run away. You keep at it. You'll just keep going. As long as you're moving like water down the river, you'll get somewhere, even if it's a slow pace. You'll get there in the end. But if you give up and cease to continue moving, you are like a little puddle. You go nowhere. You are idle. You're stiffed. Continue to move forward, and eventually you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised how much you actually learn and how much you actually discover at what you want to achieve. Because the thing is, there's so many uncertainty when it comes to trying to succeed something. Will I get it? Will I make it? What if I don't know? What if I'm not good enough? All these doubts. And I can't say that they're invalid, They are all things we should definitely consider. Absolutely consider. While they are real consideration, in the end, they are just one of many possibilities that can happen, but has yet to happen. And if you already let that fear control you, then it is you who are dictating your own failure. It hasn't happened yet, guys. If you guys are concerned about your test result, guys, the test hasn't been marked yet. You can still do something about it. As long as you acknowledge that the past has already happened and the future could be dictated by the past, as long as you currently live in the present, it means that you can intercept and actually make a difference before the past reaches the future. As long as you are present, anything is possible. You may foresee the end, but the end is actually not there just yet, which means that you have free will. You can still do things before it actually has happened. So guys, the best way to overcome the fear of failure is by understanding where that fear stems from. Understanding why you feel this way, but then embrace it. Understand that no matter what happened, it is your free will that you chose to do this, and how you want to end up. As long as you do your best, how can you not be proud of yourself? How can you not feel like you've done everything you could in your own power? Because if I knew that some things, like for example, an interview for a job, if I gave it my all, I did my very best, I became who I was, and I wanted to show the interviewer who I truly am. And if they still don't think you're good enough and you've done it your all, there's nothing else that could have changed. You've done your best. And to me, you have to look at failures from a different perspective. Failure is temporary, but success is always. Failure is just a progression towards success. Say you've seen our journey in Maplestory. We constantly fail at bosses. We fail over and over. But as long as we don't give up, we keep on trying. Those failures is only failures if we choose to stop then and there. We cease to proceed. But if you've seen our videos, it's proven otherwise. As long as you keep trying, it can never be fruitless, guys. So that was the topic about overcoming fear of failure. So I hope you guys enjoyed that little talk. Hopefully I didn't went on too long. So we are actually moving on to our next topic now, which is, oh, interesting. Okay, so these topics are actually randomly generated or randomly chosen by, you know, our friends, our guests, and viewers like you guys, the Capsu crews. So here, this topic is setting and achieving goals. So I see how it kind of ties in from the previous topic. So let's break it down, yeah? Setting and achieving goals. How do we set and achieve our goals? That's very good. So now that we have talked about overcoming fear and understanding that as long as we give it our all, it's never pointless. Then what we need to do to achieve our goals, right, is set realistic expectation. And by that I mean that we have to accept that as we grow older, you know, it takes us longer and longer to learn certain things or understand certain concepts. So it's easy to be hasteful and want to achieve something as grand but as quickly as possible. We have to be quite grounded and face reality with some realism in our goals. Now, say for example, you have a goal in mind and you want to achieve it, and it could be very grand. It could be something like, I want to be a millionaire, right? Sure, every goal is admirable because everyone deserves to be able to dream. Everyone deserves to be able to desire something and plan for it. So if that's something that you wish to do, we can absolutely look into it and attempt our best, right? Again, from the previous topic, as long as we give it our all, we can live knowing that there is no regret. We've done it our best. So if your real goal is to achieve $1 million, then I would say you need to dial it back. You need to have groundworks done. And this is by talking about having a clear definition of your goal, right? Because it's easy to say, I want $1 million, right? But what does that $1 million means to you? What are you doing with that $1 million? Are you planning to buy a house with that? Are you sick and you need money for medical health? Is this for your family? Is this to look after your children? What does this money mean exactly? By breaking down the desire, you can then truly find the intention and the real goal that you're trying to achieve. So you can write down what you want initially, but then you also have to think and break it down, like what does that actually mean? What does that goal actually entail? And then we will need to break it down even further to the most simplest form of goals. So say, for example, you're currently unemployed. Then the most simplest form of earning $1 million is actually maybe sleeping with a better sleeping habit, and maybe be more healthier and exercise more. And you're probably thinking, okay, what does that have to do with me earning money? And that's the thing, right? It's the thing that you have to have prerequisite things that you have to do beforehand before you can actually attempt your ambition. You need to look after yourself first. You need to take care of the basic needs, the foundation. I believe that all goals needs to be built off strong foundation. And if it's something to do with yourself, self-improvement, then it all starts with you, because you are the driving force for your success. If you're eating unwell, if you're sleeping late, sleeping in, if you're not punctual, if you're not fixing your bad habits, that's where you're gonna fail. That's where you're gonna fail, guys. Say, for example, you want to excel in studying, but you're too busy sleeping in, eating out. Maybe you guys put that aside for a little bit and be like, you know what, I'm gonna put my heads down and really focus. And maybe you study pretty well for the first couple of months, and then eventually, because you guys never really straighten out those bad habits, that foundation, down the line you guys could be tempted to then, like, I'm gonna take a little break, maybe I'll just play a little games, maybe I'll go see my friends, and before you know it, you're gonna relapse, you're gonna binge, and you're gonna start back in square one, guys. So it's very easy to fall off of track if you guys don't have a good foundation, and especially if your goal is surrounding, or like is revolving around you, then it is utmost important that you have to take care of yourself first. And say your goal is, like, say, sleeping in early or fixing your eating habits. Sounds easy, yeah? Just do this, but okay. We'll go through it together, guys. Don't worry. So say, okay, so in order for me to be a millionaire, I have to fix this, then how do I fix it then? And again, we go back to the core concept is have a clear definition of your goal. And if your goal is to sleep early and fix your sleeping habits, then again, you want to break it down so that it's clear and it's as easy and as achievable as taking a walk. You have to make it so simple, like breathing air. Why? Because we want to have a snowball effect by having little victories. Little wins, guys. Little wins is what builds big wins, big victories. So what I mean by that is, as long as you're not going to give up, as long as you're willing to move and try and not idle, then you'll get to your destination. But you have to be realistic with yourself, right? The expectation is, how quickly can you achieve that goal? While the goal in itself, it sounds simple, and the simplicity could just be, say the goal is, I want to sleep, say normally you sleep at 4 a.m, right? 4 a.m. Then the next day you set a goal to sleep at 3:50 a.m. And you're probably thinking, that's only 10 minutes different. But that's the point. You want to make it as easy and as, achievable as you can. But then you also have to be careful, right? Because what if you're not thinking about it? What if you're ignoring it? What if you're distracted by doing something at that time? And then obviously you look back at the time, it's now 4:30. What do you do? How do you overcome that? Like how do you overcome that? Well, again, guys, ask yourself, what is this goal for, right? What is the purpose of this goal? Is it for you guys to win, not to win, to earn $1 million, right? And you have to ask yourself, like, is this goal something that I really want? What is its real intention? What is its real purpose? Because if it means so much to you, then if you find yourself not actually trying, not actually even doing the most simplest as sleeping 10 minutes earlier than what you normally sleep, can it really be considered as a thing that you really, really want? Do you really desire it? Like you're underwater and you want it so badly that you're doing whatever you can, kicking, flailing to get to the surface to take a gulp of air. So that's something that we have to always reevaluate. So I guess a way to help you guys actually stay focused with that is writing it down, writing that goal, write it on a sticky note, put it in front of you, set a reminder, stick it on your wall, stick it in your bathroom. Wherever you go, you see that goal. Everywhere you go, it's sleep at 3:50 a.m. You're in the bathroom. Don't look at your phone. Look in front of you. To the door, there's a sticky note. Sleep at 3:50 a.m. Maybe you put on your phone, your lock screen. It says sleep at 3:50 a.m. As long as you're mindful, as long as you stay focused, you will not be swayed away from your goals and your dreams. But that dream has to mean something to you. It has to be as important for you to be dedicated and committed to actually be bothered enough to write the goals on the sticky notes, right? Because again, guys, if it's not something that you guys truly want, you're not gonna do it. It's the truth. Think about it in life. Why do we pay the bills? Is it because we want it? No, because we have to do it, right? Even if we want it or not. Like it's something that we even don't want to do, but it's a must. It's something that inherently we know, but in the end, it's like our choice, right? Like we don't have to pay the bill. You can just let the bill lapse. I know it sounds like you don't want to do it, but here's the thing, you do want to do it. Like, let's break it down seriously. Like, you do want to do it because you know that if you don't do it, there is consequences. Like, you're gonna get evicted outside of your home. Like, as much as you don't want to do it, you know that deep down in your guts, in your subconsciousness, it actually wants you to do it because you know that there is dire consequences for not doing so. And that's the thing. Because you truly know what the consequences, what you really do not want, yeah? And that you want to be able to continue living there, you'll find that energy, that courage to do it. So you need to convert that kind of mentality with your goals. You have to treat it like you really want it. That your life depends on it. And only then that you will find true meaning to what you do. And if you find that as a true meaning, you then start with small little goals. Little goals that builds your foundation and then take you step by step to snowball your victory into bigger victory. And the more you fix your habits, the more it compounds itself and gets better and better and better. Start off with small goals, guys. Keep yourself in check. Realign your mission. Realign your objectives and remind yourself. Put reminders everywhere. And don't give up, guys. And I'm not saying that if you skipped a day or two, that's giving up. Because it's easy that you miss out on a day, you spiral back and you're like, you know what? I didn't sleep early one day, so from now on, next couple of days, I'm just gonna continue sleeping late. It's okay to mess up, guys. But the important thing is stay focused. Get back on track, because once you get, pretty far along, and then you stop, you're gonna regret so much looking back on where you were before. Think about it, like how many times have you guys went to the gym? Couple of months, guys got really good gains, and then suddenly you stop. You stop for a couple of months, your gains start to disappear, and you start to wish like, man, if only I didn't stop, how far would I be? That's the same thing for everything, right? Even in Maplestory, guys. Like, as long as you play the game, even for a little bit every day, and be diligent, as long as you're progressing, you're getting somewhere. Alright, guys, it seems like this video is going pretty long, guys. This topic is very spicy, so I'm gonna pop another WAP. Okay, so I'm gonna repop my buffs, my WAPs, red and green, and we're just gonna go a little bit over time, guys. So hopefully you guys finding this topics interesting and insightful for you guys, because look, you can apply this to anywhere in your life and you will find success some way or another. But the key is a strong foundation and simple goals and making it easy. I'm a simple person. If it's too hard, I'm not gonna do it. So if you know that you're more it's more convenient for you to do it easy, the right way, then you're more likely to do it than if it's hard. If going to the gym is too hard, then bring the gym to your house. And then if it's still too hard, like having the dumbbells there and you don't want to touch it, right? Then maybe actually putting a mirror in front of your room somewhere in front of you, so that you're constantly looking at yourself and constantly being reminded that, hey, are you happy with the way you look? Because if you are, then that's fine, Don't worry about it. Don't stress about the gym, guys. Maybe the gym was not even an issue to begin with. It was never an issue because you guys were okay. Maybe it was another deeper issue. Could be something to do with, expectation in society. Like society expect you to look a certain way, right? You're happy for your own skin, your own body, but maybe you're afraid of the expectation in the world, right? But again, have a clear, defined definition of your goals, of your desire, and then do what you truly want. Make sure that it's actually what you want and not because of X reason or because of so and so or because I believe that I have to do it. I believe that it's my responsibility to do so. Do it because you want to do it, because that is one of the key driving force as well for your success. So I hope that makes some sense to you guys and that I didn't take you guys around in circle for too much. So we are actually going to move on to the next topic. So on our next topic is about minimalism and decluttering. And another fantastic topic to talk about, right? And I guess, again, it all kind of ties itself together, right? Because first, we talked about overcoming fear and failure. As long as you give it your all, it can never be a waste, right? And then setting goals and achieving your goals. And by setting clear, defined goals in what you want and setting it in the simplest form, even if it's just one step to achieving it, as long as you pave the way and stay focused on the end result, you will never be lost. And that as long as you build your foundation, even if you tumble over, you'll be rock solid. You can just keep on going, right? So now we're talking about minimalism and decluttering. Now guys, I have only recently started to think about a minimalistic lifestyle. Because here's the thing, yeah. We live in a consumerism society, yeah? We love to consume. I love to consume. We all do. And another thing we love to do is hoard, to collect. And, I'm guilty somewhat for collecting and hoarding. If you guys don't know already, I do have a Capsu collect channel. So be sure to check out my videos if you guys haven't already. But yes, I too am a bit of a hoarder, and I do collect a lot of things as well. And I feel like it's in our nature to preserve things as we find along the way. Almost like back in when we were out in the wild, As we travel along, we might find a piece of stick, maybe a rock, something that we might find that it could be handy down the line. And it seems like companies nowadays are very good at capitalizing on that kind of behavior, making it so that you have to collect everything. Like, you can't miss out on something because you might never get it back again, guys. Or it plays on our OCD. Like, you have to collect 19 out of 20 out of 20. If you have 19 out of 20, it will never be completed. It will never have its full value, right? They're very good at playing that, guys. They're very good at getting us to feel that way. And you have to also be careful, right? And I started thinking about this as well, was that you guys ever feel like, man, like I don't like buying coffee outside, yeah? I hate buying coffee outside. I wish to make it easy so that I don't even have to leave my house to have coffee, right? Now, the most simplest thing you can do is probably, just buy instant coffee. Or just buy a coffee, right, guys? It's just as simple as just going out, maybe paying $5 for a coffee, and that's it. You're done, right? But in the world of consumerism, yeah, you might be tempted, okay. And where am I going with this? I'm giving you the example of spending and buying things that you think that you're solving a problem can spawn more problems, right? So that's where I was going at. Sorry, guys. So I was thinking a bit too far ahead. So if you're thinking of buying a coffee machine in hopes that it can solve the issue of you having to go out to buy coffee every day, right? It can actually spawn more problems, because the first problem is you don't know how to make coffee. So you have to kind of learn how to make coffee. Great, yeah? But okay, so maybe you take a course, or maybe you learn some videos on YouTube, right? Great. And then comes the next issue, right? Is which machine to actually buy. So then you're thinking, should I buy a cheap machine? Should I buy an expensive machine again? You see how one problem spawns another problem spawns another problem? Okay, so now let's say you buy that coffee machine, right? But then you might have paid a substantial amount for that coffee machine. So you would obviously, yeah, as a smart person, wants to look after your investment and maintain it. So what are you gonna do? You're gonna buy like brushes, you're gonna buy cleaning chemicals, you're gonna buy filters, you're gonna try and make sure that it's nice and clean. And then you guys have to then worry about coffee beans. You guys have to, like, it's like you are buying something to solve a simple problem was just to, I don't want to go out to buy coffee. A simple problem spawns in of you hours and hours of maintenance, hours and hours of learning, hours and hours of of doing, like, spending, and you find yourself spending more and more, like, oh, every month I have to buy more, descaler, I have to buy more beans, for coffee. And that's the thing, right? They bank, company bank on you to want to solve a problem, and then they sell you a solution with more problems to then sell you more solution that breeds out more problems. It's a very vicious and dangerous cycle. And before you know it, your house is full of gadgets that's supposed to solve all your problems, but in reality breeds you more and more issues and more headaches and sap all the time in your life. So minimalism and decluttering is such a eye-opener for me that I'm always trying to actually minimize my my footprint now. I've been looking at Japan and how amazing they are at utilizing all the space they have in the little units, right? In that same place that they sleep, they also eat, study, cook. That's incredible. Like, wow. And here I am, room filled with so many objects. Maybe I bought one thing and then I never touch it again, right? Because we are sold with an idea, a dream that this thing is going to solve your problem. And we buy into that idea just to find out that it doesn't, right? Because the answer is more simple than you think. The simple answer is maybe just don't drink coffee, right? Like, or, just go buy the coffee. You might find that $5 coffee is much cheaper than you spending hundreds of dollars on coffee machine, coffee beans, a temper, container to hold your beans, chemical to clean it, maintain it, and then problems. If there's a problem with your, coffee machine, you have to contact the manufacturer. Maybe it's just as simple as just reducing the amount of time you drink coffee. I'll be honest with you, I actually bought a coffee machine, right? And this scenario is exactly what happens. And sometimes I find myself not even drinking coffee. Sometimes the coffee machine is just sat there, right? Not doing anything. So being minimalistic, not only with, we're not only talking about objects here, but in the way of thinking, in the way of life, yeah? Sometimes things are not as complicated as we think they are. Sometimes things are actually quite simple, and a simple solution doesn't require an extravagant solution. So be very careful of falling into the trap of, we need a premium special solution for our problem. it might be actually a non-problem. It might actually not be a problem at all, but you know, everyone's gonna try and make you believe that it is really a problem. So live a simple life. Be aware of objects and service in life as a source of stress and suffering. You know, spending and hoarding can spawn more issues, and you may grow to attach things that, you know, that has, you know, is beyond what you need anymore. Like, say for example, in Maplestory, you finally upgraded from Absolute to Arcane, but your Arcane is either unique or legendary. What do you do with it? You're in reboot, you can't sell it, you can't put it in storage. Do you hold on to it, or do you extract it, right? And that comes to really thinking about it, like thinking deeply about it and asking yourself, is this a memento, something that you want to hold on because you appreciate the journey and the experiences that you have with those equipment? Or is it because you're holding on to it because you are concerned that one day you might need it again, that you can still make use of it, right? That's what we call fear of missing out. Like, you're FOMOing, you're afraid that someday you might need it again and you already lost it, right? Whereas the other was because you actually have some sort of sentimental attachment to that object. And you gotta be honest with yourself. Not every object is a sentimental object, okay? Like, come on, like, if you have a chopstick because you used to eat it, you're not gonna have like you could, but not everything is gonna be sentimental with, you know, memories attached to it. Because if everything is sentimental, then nothing is sentimental, right? Then it just downplays those things that truly matters to us. And that's why, if we truly want to uphold the things that we value, to remember and experience a time or a person, we don't want to devalue them, right? So we have to make conscious decision of what is something that we want to hold on to, or and what is something is we think that it's nice to have and I might use it someday. But here's the thing, like, when is someday? Someday is arbitrary, guys. When you start to minimalize the things you do, the service you take, and declutter the objects in your room, the things that you barely ever touch. Like, look on your desk. How many times do you touch, you know, this little trinket that's next to you? How many times do you actually interact or look at it, right? It's just there, and you're gonna add more and more stuff over time. You know, give yourself space, give yourself room to actually acquire things that are actually meaningful to you. Get back the space that you have lost. And this can include not just physical stuff, but digital stuff as well. Like, I'll be honest with you, sometimes I love seeing things online. I'm just gonna download. I'm gonna hoard this. Maybe a game that I used to play and now it's shut down, but I still have it installed because, like, who knows, maybe one day the game will come back, or there might be a private server that I want to try with it. Like, who knows, right? Let it go, guys. You know, just learn to delete some stuff, clear out some of the files. If you truly need it, if you truly want it, maybe buy a hard drive, stick it on there, and then put the hard drive away, and then ask yourself, how many times have you actually gone to the hard drive to actually get that file? If you barely ever touch it, then it might as well never have existed to begin with, guys. Like, because you could have just moved on and you wouldn't even remember it. But yeah, you know, going back from minimalism and decluttering to, in order to do that, it's gonna be hard. It's not a simple process. I'm not saying that get up, grab all the things and just chuck it in the bin, right? It's not what I'm saying. It's not easy as well. Because if you tell me to go to my studio and just grab all my cards collection and chuck it away, I can't do it, guys. I can't, it's too hard. But does that mean I'm not trying? I am, guys. Every day I am trying, and I am making an effort, and I am setting goals, every day, trying to haul out some cards and really ask myself, do I need this? Is this something that I will use? Give it purpose, donate it, sell it, earn some money with it. Guys, having a little bit of minimalism and decluttering your life will be impactful. It will change your life. You don't have to go all out with it, guys. You don't have to go crazy. You don't have to go obsessed, but try a little, yeah? Try a little. Maybe, it's something I was taught when I was young. Like, say if you're going to go to the kitchen, before you go to the kitchen, look on your desk. Is there anything I can grab so that I can throw in the bin? Don't let it build up, yeah, guys. Don't let it, don't let your room be, full of trash, yeah, and plates and whatnot. If you're gonna go somewhere, look at your room. Can I grab something along the way? Take step by step, bit by bit, one at a time, and eventually, you get there, guys. But yeah, I think that we need to go back to the basic in our life. Stop with buying so many things. Stop with hoarding. Stop with needing the newest and greatest technology. Oh, a new iPhone came out. My iPhone 13, I need to chuck it out now because it's old. It's still usable. It's still functional. It does what it needs to do. And it's not bad. Don't think about hearing like, oh yeah, this new Apple feature is gonna solve all your problem. Because it's not. You already have a fully functioning phone. You end up going to buy a new phone. You have to maybe like new contacts. You have to bring over all your data. Then you have to deal with your old phone. You have two phones now. What am I gonna do with my second phone now? Do I sell it? And now you have to spend time trying to sell it. And all for what? For a feature that you heard, and then you give it a try, and then you're like, it's worn out. We all have been there. When you get a new phone, you're gonna treat it like it's your treasure, and then a couple of months later, you're gonna throw it on your bed like, whatever, Don't let the honeymoon period, the idea of romanticizing a solution, be the driving force for, spending or obsession that you need this to feel happy. Sometimes, you take it back, dial it back, go back to basic. You find that happiness is literally as simple as you can think of it. I'm grateful that I can be here and talk to you guys and, get to experience, live and breathe the simple things in life we can appreciate and find value and joy out of it. Back then, man, I went all out with my computer. I was like, I wanted to get like 6 monitor screen. I wanted, full mechanical keyboards. Nowadays, I went full minimalistic. I don't care about the clickety-clack keyboards. I don't really care for the RGBs. I don't care for all the wires. I like, minimal, right? Able to quickly pack away my desk. The ability to easily grab all my things and take it with me to travel to work or on a trip and easily set it up. And that's what I'm going to try and do and focus on for the rest of my, other areas of my life. I want to make things simple, flexible, and multi-purpose, and actually only buy things that I truly believe that actually brings me values in my life, and that it's not something that I just think that it would. Maybe apply it, maybe simulate it, and see how quickly would you just drop it off. But yeah, guys, so those were the 3 topics that we talked about for wapping with Capsu. So this episode is a little longer. It's about an hour. We still have about 8 minutes left. So I think we did pretty well. Hopefully you guys find a lot of these topics that we talk about interesting? Is there anything that you guys wanted me to explain further? Or if you guys have any topic that you guys want to talk about or share with me, please comment down below. You know, I'm always here for you guys. I'm gonna read it and make sure that, you know, you guys will never feel alone when you guys are playing on Maplestory. I'm gonna be here. We're gonna have fun, and you know, we might learn a thing or two. Yeah, it's always good to have these, you know, like bed talk. You know, like, you know, where you kind of like zone out for a bit and just, you know, go with the flow and where does my mind takes me, right? And you know, it's better than, I don't know, like doom scrolling on TikTok or YouTube Shorts. So, you know, I would love to have more deeper conversation with you guys. You know, deeper knowledge, deeper discussion. You know, I would love to have Bucky and Ray as well to join in this, you know, Wapping with Capsu series, so that they can give their input as well, and that, you know, more people, the more perspective, and I find that very fun, you know, and I'm very excited for that as well. So I'm just gonna finish it up a little bit earlier than it is, guys. And so thank you guys so much for watching this long. I hope you guys have, you know, had a good time, got a lot of gains. Maybe you guys were farming for familiars or meso farming. You know, I wish you guys the best of luck to get whatever familiar cards that you guys are chasing after. Don't give up. You know, keep trying. You guys will get it. It will come eventually. Don't stress. Don't rush. Just enjoy the journey. You know, listen to another episode. Watch the previous episode. And keep going, yeah, guys. It's not a race. It's a marathon. You know, pace yourself. Every video is about either 30 minutes or an hour like this one. So as long as you're watching one of my videos, and if you get to the end like right now, you know, you just successfully finish an hour of Wapping. And I hope that I can continue to improve and get better as well, so that, you know, I can talk for another full 2 hours, you know, for a complete WAP. Because I know, guys, like my other videos is 30 minutes. This is an hour video, or barely an hour. So I'll try. Actually, you know, maybe I just keep talking for a little bit longer, yeah, guys. For those who stayed this long, guys, you know, hey, you know, we're still here, guys. You know, the party's not over. We still got 5 minutes, yeah. So let's not give up. Let's keep going. Let's keep talking. So what shall we talk about? Well, maybe let me revise on what we said, and let's see if we can kind of bring it together and land this plane with you guys. Yeah, let's bring it all together. Overcoming fear of failure. We you know, just do your best, guys. Do your best. Like right here, yeah. We're gonna do our best, and even if we get something bad with our familiar, right? It's okay. We'll, you know, it will bum us down. It'll bum me out. I might just go, dang it, you know. But you know what? What's special about us, the Capsu crews, is that we get back up. The fire is burning strong within us. We don't give up, and we'll be back at it again. We'll keep trying. And when it comes to setting goals and achievement, we just gotta set realistic expectation, guys. Small wins, small goals. Like for us, the Capsu crews, when we did the Shining Star Force, or not Shining, 5, 10, 15 Star Force, we weren't aiming to just, oh, you know, I'm gonna all in to get one item to 22 star. Guys, you know, don't get into the idea of FOMO. If you guys don't have a lot of meso, try to gain as many stars from any areas as much as possible, because every star after 16 is like the same. It's more or less the same, guys. So if your CRA is 17 and you get it to 18, guys, that's fantastic. go another item that's 17, try to go to 18. That's 2 stars, guys. And so, just, you know, keep trying to gain any stars you can. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, you know, going from 17 to 21 for it to then boom, and now you're back to 17 and you gain nothing out of it. Set realistic expectation. If you guys are really down determined, like damn hard determined to get that 21, 22 star, then you guys have to expect that, you know, when you guys look at the probability, if you guys gonna zero out, well, you know, in 20 or 30 bill, you guys have to be ready to take that, swallow it, swallow your pride, and accept that, yep, that's what it's gonna take. And otherwise, if not, just set realistic expectation. Clearly define your goals. What is your goal? Is your goal to get 22 star, or is it your goal to get stronger so that you can kill bosses faster, progress further, and join harder bosses party, right? Really understand what is your goals. Is it your goals for 22, or is it to get stronger? Because to get stronger, there's many other ways to get stronger than just to get 22. And if you are at a stage where there is nothing else you can really do for your item except to push for that 1 or 2 extra stars, then by then you're already done the best you can. Like we said before, give it your all. You've done the best you can. You've done everything in your power, and now it's all or nothing. You're gonna give it your best for 22. If you don't make it, that's fine, because there is no other option for you. You've done the best you could. And then with minimalizing and decluttering, do not hoard, guys. You know, especially Maplestory, if you guys get event items, you guys get, you know, rewards, don't hold on to it. Use it right away. Find everywhere you can to use it. Flames, EXP voucher, bong potion, just use it, guys. Don't let it expire, because if you do let it expire, it means nothing anyways. If you hoard and don't use, you end up losing everything. And that's how Maplestory is. It punishes you for hoarding. Like, for example, we just recently had Slurpee Choo Choo. If you have so many VIP vouchers, boosters, and you don't use up all of it, guess what, guys? It's all expired, right? So you guys have to make a habit of, you know, don't hoard. Use it. Don't just hold on to it. Use it as it comes. Don't make it into a problem. Don't get yourself in a situation where you're forced to do something just because it's expiring, right? Use it because you want to use it. Use it early, and don't set yourself up in a position where you have to make a really poor decision, something that you don't want to do. Okay, guys, that's it. That's been an hour. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. If you guys can like, subscribe, and hit the bell notification, that would mean so much to us. Thank you so much for being here with me for the last hours. I really enjoy your company, and I hope to see you guys in the next episode. Peace out. This is Capsu, signing out.